Who in here would love the minimum wage to be increased? So, did you know that raising the minimum wage in the end would probably hurt you more than it would help you? The minimum wage is a hot topic in America these days, and many people are on either side on whether to raise it or to just keep it at what it is, including, like I said, Republicans and Democrats split on this decision. Although the Democrats bring up many great points for raising the minimum wage, in the end, everything comes at a price in life and it'll all end out, or even out. Increasing the minimum wage would only cause the poor and small businesses to struggle more than they do now. Since in January, when the Democrats formally introduced a bill proposing the minimum wage to be gradually increased year by year until the year 2024, when it would reach $15 nationwide. I myself have read numerous articles and looked up many different talking points on either side to tell which side I personally am on. Today I'll be explaining how the increase in minimum wage would affect the less educated and experienced small businesses, and we'll also view the other side of the argument, the pros and positives to it. So first, how would it affect the less educated and experienced? It would cause businesses to pay the more skilled and experienced entry level, because the $15 an hour would entice the more experienced people to come and get these entry level jobs that us high schoolers or college students don't have the experience or education for yet. So it would take jobs out of our hands personally, because these guys who have more experience, obviously a business is going to hire somebody who has more experience or education than somebody else. So a study done by David Newmark, economic professor at UC Irvine, said after he did a study he came out with, in the end it would only hurt the less skilled and experienced workers much more than it would help. Also, Sanderson and Craig Garthwaite noted that it's troubling because more people need to get into the labor market. Even if they aren't great jobs, they lead to better jobs as your skills improve. So basically, even if you're getting $7.25 or $7.50 at a minimum wage when you first get in, like fast food, warehouse job, that you're supposed to gain experience as years go, as you're getting your education at college or high school to get into a better job in the end. In the end, minimum wage is designed to only be a temporary job in order for the individual to develop their skills and get a higher paying job. Next, how would it affect these smaller businesses? In a study done on 500 small businesses, 75% of them said raising the minimum wage would only force them to lay off employees or stop them from hiring additional help needed. This is due because having to pay their employees more than the minimum wage is only going to cut their profit line down. These companies need to grow because they're smaller businesses. They're not huge corporate that just have a lot of money, make a lot of money per year. These restaurants that are paying their waiters minimum wage, they pay the minimum wage because that's how they make their most profit, and they want to keep growing and getting new technology and equipment, and they can't do that if they have to pay their employees more. So increased costs paying their employees or whatever would lead to less profit, less expansion, no new equipment, no businesses or no bonus or raises, and less hiring and jobs. And by raising what they would be forced to pay, it would cut their profits by a lot, which I said, which would in turn force them to make decisions on ways to make their profit again, which would probably be laying off employees like us who don't have as much experience as people who may have been working for minimum wage for many years. So now we will view why it would be a good idea. Since 2015, 21% of the states have voiced their voted opinion for raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. It would lift pay for 40 million American workers, or approximately 27% of the U.S. workforce that works for under $15 an hour as of now. 2/3 of the working poor in America which receive an increase in pay, and it would help even out the gap between the lower and middle classes. However, although all these things sound great, and I personally believe they sound great too, in places where they favor the $15 minimum wage, most of them have already increased their statewide minimum wage above $7.25. And so this chart right here shows the minimum wages across the country. As you can see, in most places, there's only the darker blue is where it's already above the nationwide minimum wage, which is $7.25. But over here, it shows the cost of living per state, and as you can see, most of California, Oregon, Washington, and then in the Northeast, up by New York and stuff, where the minimum wage is already $11 or $10, the cost per living is a lot more than it is in the central states, where it's pretty much around $7.25 to $9. Just because, so although you're getting paid more, you're also having to pay more for everything else. So it's really all evening out. And I mean, if let's say Texas or Oklahoma raised theirs all the way up, that would mean that their consumer rates would just have to continue to go up, because these companies have to make more of a profit than they are now, because they're having to pay their employees more. So in the end, although you're getting paid minimum wage, it's just going to even out just like it is everywhere else. So making $15 sounds great, but it's just going to be normal as it is now. So today I have explained how raising the minimum wage would affect the less experienced, educated person, smaller businesses, and the few positives to raising the minimum wage. Although the positives sound great, eventually it will all end up working for the same as before. Finally, I'd like to say John Hossa once said, minimum wage should not be a living wage. Thank you.